Are gaming token dead and AI sector is actually better? Why best influencers you're following telling you to buy AI coins? Where is the largest upside in the marketplace? In something that everyone thinks is dead? Or something that everyone still talks about and will not perform well in upcoming couple of months? Gaming will outperform like crazy. And in this video, I will explain why and provide you with 10 gaming altcoin picks so you can actually capitalize on the opportunity from low risk to high risk. If you'd like to make money on the marketplace and not serve as exit liquidity, watch this video till the end. Why I'm actually saying that AI is dead and it's not going to perform well, unlike what other influencers are actually telling you, is because we had a crazy run-up through AI. A run-up which pretty much printed 8x's on the largest AI render asset. A run-up that was active since September of last year that topped in April, early April. So we are correcting only for the last 3 weeks. And some people are saying that this week up is reversal and we are going up. I don't think so. I think this week is actually a correction for this down action. And we are going way lower on these things. Because AI sector is essentially full of meme coins, of projects that are just vaporware, I do not also envision any large short-term catalyst for AI. I do think AI sector would need to cool off to consolidate for quite some time, and I think 2 to 3 weeks of a correction is not something that you basically want to look into if you're making a decision to buy back into these tokens at this stage. And I'm only showing you render, but the chart of most of AI projects is actually quite similar. It mostly looks like this at this stage. Coming up to gaming, the situation that we have here is way different. I have a list of Ethereum layer 2s here, and we have a catalyst for Ethereum in upcoming 3 to 4 weeks, the updates regarding Ethereum ETF in the United States. We already know that spot Ethereum ETF was approved in Hong Kong and will go live on 30th of April, pretty much in 6 days from now. I don't think the US actually have the option to disapprove Ethereum ETF. And recent case of SEC lawyers resigning due to abuse of crypto industry is very bullish for Ethereum, because market has priced in the fact that Ethereum ETF will actually be declined. Therefore, your upside is unlimited, because if you are getting in Ethereum and Ethereum related projects, you are very close to the bottom, because the correlation between Ethereum and Bitcoin chart is at historical lows at this stage. Bitcoin is heavily outperforming Ethereum in the last several months. But you might ask, Stan, what actually does it have to do with gaming? And I will tell you a lot. We see that Immutable X is top 3 Ethereum layer 2 by market cap. And Immutable X is also a largest token in all the gaming ecosystem. It's like your hedge fund on crypto gaming. If you actually don't want to figure out anything about the industry, about the niche, about different games, you just buy Immutable X and you're doing quite well over time. And Immutable X is the layer 2 on Ethereum. A range of games are actually basing their ecosystem on AVAX this cycle as well. AVAX is EVM based layer 1, Ethereum virtual machine based, which kind of tells us that if Ethereum will be doing well, this thing should be picking up as well. Other players between top crypto gaming coins like Beam, for example, they are also basing on Ethereum. Therefore, with increased liquidity in Ethereum, they should also be doing quite well, causing the alt season in gaming. Because people who are positioned in tokens like IMX, like AVAX, like Beam, once liquidity will be coming into them, because Ethereum will be pumping, they will be taking the profits and repositioning them into lower caps, causing the alt season in gaming sector. Small remark, I wanted to briefly share what actually was happening in our Discord. We opened a meme coin trading channel and guys from the community were able to spot Wolf 0x66, Brad 0x70, Bird Dog. They actually were able to spot 0x69 Elon as well this morning. They've done a bunch of X's. Me personally, I've done 10 X's on Bird Dog with initials of 5k. I've done some multipliers on Bread as well. And I do really like and appreciate the fact that this alpha is actually coming from the community. I do appreciate a lot what type of people the community actually attracts. Again, I think it's a short-term PvP scenario on Ethereum, but we definitely see that there are volumes in meme trading on Ethereum, which also supports my thesis about the fact that Ethereum should be doing quite well, and these people actually feel that. Because back when Ethereum was doing not well, no one was actually trading any meme coins on Ethereum. So as far as you can understand, my first pick in terms of my gaming tokens is actually IMX. Safest thing you can just buy, and you can just forget about the whole gaming sector, and I would say short term in the coming 2 months you would be doing quite well with your IMX pick. Next thing is Avalanche. Bunch of games are actually based on Avalanche. It had a nice correction recently with the whole market as well, from $50 to as low as $34. There are a lot of bullish events for AVAX in this cycle. I do think it will be seeing larger numbers as well, and you might be buying AVAX as your layer 1 token to get exposure into gaming. I would say upside here might be a bit less than with IMX, but with Ethereum surging up, we should be seeing the alt season, and AVAX should be receiving part of this liquidity as well. And in general, when AVAX pumps, crypto gaming also pumps, because a bunch of projects actually are basing on AVAX. And in the end of the video, I would actually show a couple of low caps on AVAX that you can buy to get exposure on AVAX, because most likely they will outperform the main token of the chain. Moving forward, my next pick number 3 is Super. The main reason for that is because it's an influencer coin and it should be pumping quite nice. At the same time, we do understand that it did not correct heavily. It only went down from like 1.3 to 0.9. So at the same time, it definitely shows that it has certain strengths. People are buying it out because they do understand the strengths of channels, of Alex Becker, of Elliott Trades as well. They do understand that they will be pumping this token moving into the cycle moving forward, and most likely it should be doing quite well. $500 million market cap, so it's not that lucrative than it was before, but the fact that it's showing strength is definitely very, very interesting. This might be a strong pick to actually get exposure into gaming as well, and most likely over the cycle you will be doing quite well, short term and till the end of the year as well. Next project is Echelon Prime. This is something I was actually sharing on my channel, I think around $7 the first time. I do really like this project because it has the combination of gaming and AI narrative as well. Despite the fact I'm not that bullish on AI short term, I do like the combination of these two narratives because it definitely shows you that the whole project is more strong, and it will be getting liquidity when each on this narrative would essentially be running. On top of that, they have a working game already, they have a launch of another game with implementation coming up soon, and I just like the combination of narratives on this project. One issue that you might be seeing is that the current market cap is 600 million and fully diluted is 2 billion, but I would say short term we should not care much about these things in the bull market, because in the bull market valuations will just become very, very crazy, and retail, once they come in, they will be just throwing the money without looking at anything. They would just not care. Next pick is a pretty interesting one because it does not get mentioned often. It's Steppen. It's actually a walk to earn application that was very, very popular at the end of the last cycle. I would even say that this is the only one thing that was keeping Solana from dumping for several months, because people were essentially farming Steppen. And if you know my thesis, you probably is that I think that the game that actually will be receiving a largest valuation of this cycle, it does not going to matter on how good this game is, how good the graphic, how well it actually been played. The game that will be receiving, the project that will be receiving the largest valuation of this cycle will be the project that's the best Ponzi. And when they will be inviting their friends, they also would be making even more money after that. The best Ponzi would essentially be winning. I would say Steppen might be a candidate for that. They recently announced a partnership with Nike, which is a very, very interesting thing. And we do also see that the market cap is at $500 million this stage with a fully diluted of 1.34 billion, which definitely shows us that there are investors still sitting in this thing, waiting to pump this project to dump on retail. We also see that recent market correction essentially led this project from 0.4 to 0.23, which is not that bad, 50% correction. But we do also see that it's been consolidating for quite some time. And one of the reasons of why I'm actually sharing you all these gaming tokens is because a lot of them, they are at the prices that we only saw back in November. And that's why I'm saying that once this thing would run, they should be outperforming like crazy. As some of them, especially the tokens that I would be showing at the end, they are very, very cheap at this stage. And if they're cheap, it's actually easy to pump them. And they will be pumping with the whole narrative. Next project is Xai, which is a layer 3 blockchain on Arbitrum. And Arbitrum is a layer 2 on Ethereum. So it has a pretty nice correlation there because Arbitrum works as beta play on Ethereum. When Ethereum will be receiving liquidity, Arbitrum will be pumping up as well. And Xai is your beta play on Arbitrum. And on top of that is also a gaming token. So it should be receiving liquidity with both run of Ethereum and run of gaming, which is quite nice. The disadvantages of Xai is that people are actually farming nodes. So there is constant selling pressure because people are running nodes. They are receiving new tokens every day and most likely they're dumping the tokens on the market. At the same time, we do have to understand that we only have 11% of the tokens in the circulation at this stage, which shows in the market cap being 200 million and fully diluted at 1.9 billion. Which definitely helps us to understand that it's very, very easy to actually pump these things. I can show you an example with Illuvium in the last cycle. So we can see that in the last cycle, Illuvium was reaching $1,800 in price per one token. Right now we are at $100. And some people might say, oh, it's 18x from here, it's so nice, it's so great, it's also on Ethereum, so it should be pumping. But if we would actually be opening the market cap, we would see that we have 18x's indifferent for the price, right? But we only have 2x's in difference in terms of the market cap. And the main reason for the price being that high at the top of the last cycle is because there was a very, very small amount of tokens in the circulation. Therefore, if you have small amount of tokens, it's very, very easy to pump the price up because all of your liquidity is actually focused on the small amount of token, because all of your liquidity is actually being focused on the small amount of tokens. And that's why one token is actually expensive. Right now, we do have a bunch of tokens in the circulation. That's why this liquidity is actually being distributed between all of these tokens. And that's why the price is so low at this stage. And I really doubt that we would be seeing Illuvium at $1,800 this cycle. Moving forward, we have something like ApeCoin, a token from Yuga Labs with this narrative of metaverse, and I was actually longing this thing from 1.4 and I actually got liquidated because I removed margin. And the issue is that I was not thinking that this token can actually form a new low because I was entering 1.4, very nice long. It was as high as 2.4. I think I was like $30,000 in profits, right? And I was not expecting for this thing to actually print new low. And we see on CoinMarketCap only $1.15, but on exchanges it actually went even lower than that. The reason I'm showing you ApeCoin as the candidate for the project you will be able to capitalize on, it's definitely on the higher end from the market cap point of view. So you won't be receiving a large amount of access from it. The reason I'm showing it to you is because it actually received investments of $400 million. Therefore, I do think that VCs that invested into this thing that would be looking to pump this project up because they actually need to create liquidity to take profits, because they need to take profits on $400 million. We do also see that the circulating supply is 60% at this stage, so it's definitely harder for VCs and for market makers to actually pump this thing up. But at the same time, we can definitely see that there is a market maker working on this project based on the fact that the volumes are 48 million. It's very, very easy to understand if there is a market maker working on the project. If there is a market maker, you would be seeing larger volumes on the project. If not, the project probably does not have a market maker or he's not that active at this stage. Next thing is Big Time. I'm just a huge fan of Warcraft universe, World of Warcraft, Warcraft 3 the strategy as well, and I know that some people on the team of Big Time, they're essentially people who are developing World of Warcraft as well. The main issue that this token has in the eyes of the public is the fact that fully diluted valuation is at 1 billion and market cap is at 177 at this stage. There are also farms in China, like people playing this game in huge amounts to farm play-to-earn element of this game, which kind of does not help the economy of the whole thing. But at the same time, we do see that it actually based on Ethereum. They have their very, very interesting internal implementation of the marketplace that actually allows the users of the game, the players, not to spend Ethereum transactions on buying and selling NFTs and items in the game. They only spend fee on the transaction if they want to actually withdraw the NFTs from the gaming account. The fact that we only have 60% in circulation currently definitely helps us to understand that it's quite easy to actually pump this thing. And this chart, if you're actually looking at this chart and if you're not bullish, I don't understand it. This chart is so bullish, it's just going down. At an absolute bottom, like we are in April of 2024, Bitcoin costs $64,000 and Big Time price is actually similar to the November of last year. It's so crazy because in November of last year, Bitcoin was like 38,000. Do you understand what type of upside these altcoins actually have? Overall, total 3, the whole altcoin market has crazy upside at this stage because of the fact that Bitcoin actually moved, but altcoins did not move yesterday because Ethereum is at all-time lows in comparison to Bitcoin. Bitcoin heavily outperforms Ethereum at this stage. There is so much upside in Ethereum and in the tokens that are actually connected to Ethereum. Next thing is Nakamoto, which is actually a studio based on Polygon. Polygon is also Ethereum layer 2, so you might actually view these things as your better place on Ethereum doing well short term. The thing I like about Nakamoto Games is the fact that it's actually a studio, therefore it's actually less risky to invest into something like this because you are not dependent on the success of one game. It's also the token of this cycle, and they're also focusing on mobile games. And if you're following my thesis for this cycle, I do think we should be seeing a new Axie Infinity this cycle as well, but it should be a mobile game because it should be accessible. People are not going to farm something on PSP or on PC, things like that. It should actually work nicely on old Android devices to actually make it accessible to the largest amount of people possible. And interesting that we actually see strengths in Nakamoto in comparison to all other charts of gaming cryptos. Therefore, I would say once you would actually see gaming run up, this thing will probably be running up the first because something that shows trends on the correction in comparison to all the tokens, it will most likely continue to show strengths as well. So if you actually want to capitalize the fastest, I would say your choice might be Nakamoto Games. Market cap of this thing is also 160 million, which is not that bad. You might be exposed to several multipliers, several X's short term in a coming couple of months for this token and for this project. Moving forward, we have Heroes of Mavia, which is actually my candidate for Axie Infinity of this cycle, depending on what type of Ponzinomics this thing will have, depending on how much money people will essentially be able to make in the game. And what's interesting is that Heroes of Mavia also showing strength because it was dumping from 4.9 bucks to $3, and right now it's already at 4.4. So people bought this out. One of the issues is that there are a bunch of people that are receiving their allocations as early investors from Heroes of Mavia, but it's a working product. The game is very, very nice. We definitely see that the market maker is there because like daily volumes, they're actually close to market cap, which is crazy. And we see the circulating supply of the whole thing is at 12%. Therefore, it's so actually easy to pump this token for the market makers and for the team of the project as well. I do believe that Heroes of Mavia long term will be one of the most performing projects on this market as well. And yeah, you might say that market cap is 10 times less than fully diluted market cap, but again, valuations will not make sense in the bull market. They will just be surging up like crazy, and retail that will be coming in, they will not care much about the difference in terms of the market cap and fully diluted market cap. They would just not care in the first place. Next thing I would like to share is actually gaming. This thing definitely does not show short-term strength, and the main reason for that is because people are actually receiving their allocations on a monthly basis, and as you can see currently there are only 6.33% in circulation of the whole tokens. Well, when I'm seeing this is actually quite bullish because it's very easy to pump the whole project with this small supply as well. At the same time, one thing that might be bearish is that the volumes on these tokens are actually quite low, which signalizes to us that probably the market maker on this thing is not very active. Currently, what is happening on this project, people are just receiving their allocations and most likely they're dumping them on the marketplace. Me personally, I'm just holding. I would be planning to actually exit most of my assets closer to the end of the cycle. I would probably actually be making a video on exit strategy. If you would like to have one, feel free to mention it in the comments. We do see that fully diluted is 800 million and current market cap is 50 million. It's actually a quite bullish deep in project. They have their own cybersports team. They have connection to gaming. They actually announced that they are building their own gaming chain based on Move development language, which is the same that Sui and Aptos also have. I would say that long term, this would be a very bullish thing, but it might actually take some time to cook, right? At the same time, we do have to understand that 6% of the supply is very easy to pump, and once we will be having our gaming narrative, this thing should be coming up as well. I'm very bullish on this type of charts, just going down, very bullish charts. Next we have Shrapnel, which is a shooter project on ApeCoin, and it actually have the same situation. It has 8% in circulating supply. There was some thought that allocations for investors were just too aggressive and they were just dumping all of their tokens on the market. I think they changed something in the vesting schedule with early investors to improve that situation on the market. We do also see that the market cap of this thing is at 40 million currently, and fully diluted is at $500 million. So it's 12 times larger than the current market cap. But again, I would say from my point of view, it's quite bullish because it's very easy to pump the token with this low amount of supply circulating in the market. The only bearish thing is that volumes are quite low, which shows us that probably there is no market maker in this thing, or he's not very active. And in general, this thing is actually based on ApeCoin. So Shrapnel is actually a better play on ApeCoin. If you don't want to buy ApeCoin and you still want to capitalize on ApeCoin pumping up and on gaming doing well, you might be getting into Shrapnel. It should be doing well through the Ethereum pumping up, ApeCoin pumping up, and gaming narrative pumping up as well. Last two projects are kind of similar from the way they are set up. That's why I'm actually showing both of them. It's Myria and Playable. The reason I'm saying they're similar is because both of them are actually studios in the first place, and they have this setup similar to Gala Games as well, where there are people holding nodes. They are receiving tokens on a daily basis, and unfortunately, most likely they're dumping their tokens on the marketplace. We do see that the market cap for Myria is at 100 million at this stage, so it's definitely a larger project, and it also based on Ethereum, which might be an interesting Ethereum beta play in connection to the gaming narrative. A lot of people actually like Myria, and we definitely see certain strength because it didn't go down as all the other tokens. So we actually do not see the prices on this token that we saw on this token in November, which might actually be showing certain strength for this token. Unlike for Playable, for example. But again, if a lot of people are thinking that something is dead, This is where the opportunity on the market actually is. We do see that the market cap of Playable is $11 million at this stage, and fully diluted market cap is actually 120 billion. We only have 9% of the tokens in circulation supply, which is so easy to pump. One of the reasons for this price action is because people are receiving free tokens because they are running the nodes, and most likely they are dumping them on the market. But interesting thing is that people are actually usually dumping the tokens on the market when the token is going down, because when the token is pumping, usually node holders are not selling the tokens. They only selling the token following this sideways down action. We do also see that the volumes are less than 1 million. That might be a bit bearish for the whole thing, but I do think Playable is actually one of the riskiest beta play for Avalanche. But due to the fact it's actually quite risky, probably has the largest upside. Here's my list of tokens that I think short term would be doing very well. In general, I would say most of the gaming tokens that have been alive since October, November, so they pumped during that time, they would probably be doing well during the upcoming gaming pump, as they have been consolidating for quite some time already. And I do believe this gaming surge up should be coming quite soon. More and more people start to think that gaming is dead, and this is where the opportunity actually is. One last thing, I actually recently found a meme coin, and there are not a lot of meme coins actually connected to gaming projects that I think will actually outperform all of these tokens and all of the gaming narrative as well. I do think I would be sharing it in upcoming several videos as well. Subscribe to this channel, make sure that you have the bell notifications on, not to miss this video. I've already done some on-chain analysis. I've seen a range of whales, a range of gaming whales, most likely from Neo Tokyo, acquiring this meme token as well. It's going to be a very great video with thesis declaration as well. Thank you very much for watching this video. I will be seeing you tomorrow. Bye bye.